Hey guys, and welcome back to the studio. I'm Kaidence Woods. Today we're here with Oakmont Media's own exchange student, Sarah. How are you doing today?
Hey,
Sarah?
I'm good, thanks.
And I know you're from Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say is different from Germany versus the United States? What were some first impressions?
It's definitely a lot. It's completely different. I would say that the main difference is actually the school and the school life, because in Germany we don't even have school sports or clubs. Like when I went to my first football game or the basketball games, I had so much fun and I was literally mind blown because it's just a whole new experience for me. And I just love how people actually have a bond here and you actually feel like you're in a community, and people actually try to make school fun here. I know everyone is oh, I don't want to go to school and I just want to go home. But y'all have it so good because all the fun things y'all do and all the things you love about school, like this class, for example, that's all, all of those things are things we would never do in Germany. We don't even have electives. And basically we have a really strict schedule, I would say. And German school only really cares about academics. So I could never do band or a sport or just a fun class or everything that's basically the whole business program you all have to. We really only have academic classes, not fun classes or live teaching classes. We also take multiple sciences in a year. I think in my 5th grade I took biology, physical science, and chemistry in the same year.
Chemistry in 5th grade?
Yes, chemistry in 5th grade. And I also, if I would be in Germany right now, I would have 4 languages in my schedule. I would take German, English, Spanish, and French in the same year. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's also just the food and Walmart or Publix. When my mom took me there for the first time, I was mind blown because I basically just wanted normal breakfast oats. And I was standing in front of that shelf and I was so overwhelmed because y'all have 50 options for one thing, and in Germany we have 3.
Yeah, I feel in America we're really blessed to have all the options, and we just don't appreciate it and things. But I was also wondering, I know we have German exchange students and just exchange students from all over Europe here. Do y'all have exchange students in Europe, from America and places like that?
I know that there are some people who go to Spain or Italy, but I never heard about people who would go to Germany. I would say it's also mainly because of the language.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if someone from the United States would come to Germany and go to school there, you don't speak German. So it would be really, really hard for y'all to kind of attach and to actually make friends. Because I mean, I never had problems with the language, so it was easy for me to adapt and make friends here. But I think that it would be way difficult, way more difficult for people here to do an exchange year in Germany. I mean, the easiest way to learn a language is when you're surrounded by it. So you would probably pick it up quick, but it would be pretty difficult.
Yeah.
So I think it's more a European thing to do an exchange year.
I also feel like a lot of Europeans don't really like Americans.
I would say that's actually pretty neutral. I mean, I always say there are 3 kinds of people. People who don't really care about y'all and are just neutral. Then there are people who are only interested when it comes to politics or more things that really have an impact on the world too. Then there are people who think that y'all are just crazy, and people who really want to come here. I have so many German people I don't even really know texting me that I'm literally living their dream and that they would love to do what I do and that they really want to come here at one point.
And I know you mentioned the food, so what is some of your favorite American food and versus your favorite German food? Because I'm pretty sure Germany probably has all types of fine cuisine and stuff that we just don't have in America.
I mean, for me it's pretty difficult sometimes because I'm also vegetarian.
Yeah.
So everyone's always oh, let's go to Chick-fil-A, and I'm do we have to? But I would say my favorite things here are, I mean, I love city bowls, which is not American, but we just don't have that type of stores. I really like fried okra, actually. and ranch, which is really American, and it's also probably the worst thing you can put in your body, but it's so good. And I also really like Panera Bread. It's just like a fun place to hang out. But I would say that German food is kind of maybe more healthier in a way, but also it's not really that much different. I mean, we have like typical German food, which y'all don't have, like schnitzel. Yeah. It's like this kind of like coated meat, I would say. But y'all just have a way bigger variety of food, so it's pretty cool, like all the things you can explore, and like everywhere I go there's something new to pick up, so.
Yeah, my grandpa, he actually was in the army and he was in Germany. So, and like he always tells us like stories about like Germany and stuff, so I've always been like really fascinated about like just Europe in general and stuff like that. And he like speaks German. He like taught me like a little bit of it, but I don't know anymore.
It's really hard to pick up, I feel like, especially when you speak English. I feel like learning German would be way more difficult than for like a German person to learn English, because I also started learning English in 2nd grade. So I took English for a long time, but then people always ask me if everyone like in my class in Germany is as good in English as I am. And I always compare it to math. There are just some people who pick it up really quickly and who are like just really good at it. But then there are people who are horrible in it and they just can't even really hold like a daily conversation.
Like my grandpa, he said that like like when he tried to teach us German, he was always like, we probably wouldn't be able to pick it up because it's easier to pick it up like when you're like around it. And I know I used to take French. I took it for like 2 or 3 years, and like you can pick it up, but like reading it and whatnot, when you try to do like the conversations and stuff, since you're not around French and like other languages as often, it's a little harder to like pick up.
I mean, that was pretty easy for me because I had 4 years of French. So, and now I'm learning Spanish here, and it's like really easy for me to pick it up because French and Spanish are pretty similar. But it's always so much easier when you surround yourself with a language to learn it.
Okay, so like, what are some small things like teen life? Like, how's it different in Germany versus the United States? Because I'm pretty sure, like, I've noticed that European countries are way more free when it comes to like what they let their minors do and like.
I would say, I mean, the main difference is driving, I would say, because I mean, I'm a sophomore, so I turned 16 in 5 days, and I can start driving here, which is really exciting. If I would be in Germany, I would have to wait till I'm 18. And we have like the whole permit situation y'all have here when you're 15. That's the whole year of being 17 in Germany. So you start getting your license when you're 16 and a half. Then you can drive with your parents for a year. And as soon as you turn 18, you can drive on your own. So there's like a whole 2-year gap between that. And also, getting your license is really expensive in Germany. It actually costs you like up to 3,000 euros. It's crazy. And we also don't have like driver's ed in school, so there's like no possibility for us to take a test in school and to like get it all done. And you're definitely right that German parents are just like a bit more chill about letting their teenagers go out. Maybe that also is because Germany is just a bit more safe, I would say. One of the main things that's playing into it is probably that weapons are illegal. Like even pepper spray is only legal to be used against animals. So I would say that German parents are just not as concerned about us. I wouldn't really say that they trust us more than parents here do. But since some of our laws are just different and they're way more chill about like going out, I would just say that it's just another thing for parents there to let their kids be just a bit more free sometimes.
And I feel like people don't realize like how big the United States is.
Exactly.
Because like in Germany, you could probably, like the European countries, they look pretty big on the map, but like you could probably make it like back and forth to Germany like maybe like 10 hours, and that would be like the amount of time it would take for us to get like from here to like Texas.
Yes, like if I would want to go to France, then it's about a 5-hour drive, but I cross like almost 3 countries on the way. And for y'all, like New Orleans is a 5 hours drive, and you cross like one state line.
The beach is a 5-hour drive, and and it depends on which beach you're going to. You might not even cross into like Florida. You might still stay in Alabama.
Yes, and I actually compared the size of Germany to like the United States one time, and literally the state Montana is bigger than Germany, the country. I mean, obviously not the population, but like when it comes to the area, Montana is bigger than Germany, which is kind of crazy.
I feel like that could be like another reason why parents are like more chill, 'cause like you can't really like get like too far, because like, well, you can, but like if you're like in the country, like you're literally like probably like 4 hours away, like max.
Yeah.
But like if you were to just go out in the United States, like you could be like at the beach like 6 hours away, and your parents would be like, where are you?
Where are you? Yeah. Like at the beginning of 2022, I was during spring break. I took a trip with 2 of my best friends to Hamburg, which is like a really big city in Germany. And it's about a 5-hour train ride. And our parents let us go there on our own for 2 days, and we spent the night there, and it was really cool. But I feel like American parents would never allow their 15-year-old children to do that.
I just feel like it's like more culture too, like not like more trusting, but like you said, like about the laws and stuff.
Exactly. I think that is like the role model and like what really plays in there.
I know that there's probably like some American holidays we celebrate here, like the 4th of July and holidays like that we celebrate here that you don't celebrate in Germany. So what would you say like are some like German holidays? Like I've just been curious about that.
I mean, I would say, one thing we don't celebrate that y'all do is also Thanksgiving. We just don't. I don't even know why, because I love Thanksgiving here, and it was such a heartwarming holiday. The only thing that really comes to my mind that is pretty big in Germany is Carnival, and actually Carnival is right now. It's like the whole first 2 weeks of February, like they make it this whole thing. And Carnival is basically like a Halloween, but it's more of a holiday because it's over 2 weeks. And they have like all the parades, and everybody's dressing up. They just like pick a theme. Like my mom is dressed up as a pirate right now and is like going out with her friends. And they have parades. They go to like multiple houses, and they have like a bucket of candy. And during the parade, they just like throw it out of the bucket to the little kids, and they like pick it up from the streets and put it in their bag. It's really funny.
And back with the Thanksgiving thing, I feel like y'all probably don't celebrate it because it's like the Pilgrims and like the Native Americans.
Yes.
So it doesn't really have anything to do with like
No,
Germany.
not really. But also we have like a kind of what y'all celebrate at 4th of July. We have that too, but it's just like not really big. Like nobody's really making a thing out of it, and nobody is celebrating it. Or like in school you have a Pledge of Allegiance, and at every basketball or football game, even at high school games, you play the national anthem. And we just don't do that. Like we don't have a Pledge of Allegiance. We never play the national anthem, only at like professional soccer games when it's like a national game, like against another country, but not even at like normal professional soccer.
With like being an exchange student, like did you get to pick the state that you went to?
There would be a possibility to pick the state. I didn't want it to, because first of all, if you pick a state, it's not promised for you that you will go to that state, because they start searching for a host family in that state, but it doesn't mean that they find a good match for you. And if they don't find a good match, they just like open the whole United States again. And I was just like, just do your thing, and I just want to be surprised where it will take me, because I'm also glad that I didn't do it, because I probably would have picked like New York, California, and Florida probably. But those are the places you would probably come to visit. Like I'm gonna go to Florida during spring break. I'm gonna visit San Francisco at the end of April, and I already been to New York. So those are places you kind of like are going to either way at one point. So I'm really glad to be placed here, and I really love this area. And everyone is always like, Alabama, Birmingham, like why would you want to come here? But I actually really love it.
Yeah, I feel like most people like you have your mindset on a certain thing, and then once you get to the other thing, and you see, you're like, this is actually really good. I'm like glad that you didn't have such a closed mind on where you wanted to go and things like that.
Yeah, but that's like the main thing my organization always tells me and like other exchange students: be open-minded, be extroverted, because if you're an exchange student, you have to make friends. Like when I came here, I had to build up a whole life because everyone here was in their friend group. Everyone had the people they know, and I was like the new student. I mean, being an exchange student makes it a whole lot easier because everyone is so interested in you and they kind of just want to know all about it. But you have to build up a life. You have to find a new hobby. You have to join activities, make friends, do good at school, be surrounded by a new language, live with a family you don't even like really know. And I love my host parents. Like, it's really a perfect match for me. I just am so glad to be placed at their house and to be with them. And my parents are visiting in March, so they're gonna meet my real parents. But it's really exciting being an exchange student. It's not easy, but it's amazing. So it was the best thing I've ever decided for me and for my life. And I would ever do it, like, if I would have to pick again, I would do it again. It was a long progress because you find an organization first and you apply for it and you have all those documents you have to fill out, and based on those documents the host families pick you. So like you write a lot of essays and they get to read them and pick a student then. And then I got a call one day and they were like, hey, we have a host family for you. You're placed in the state of Alabama in Birmingham. You will go to Oak Mountain High School. And I was literally crying on the floor.
Yeah, I can only imagine like being from another country and you just want to like experience like something else for a little bit, because it's kind of like you're living like a completely different life for like a year.
It is.
And after that, you just go back to living your normal life. So I can only imagine that.
It's gonna be hard. Everyone's always like, are you homesick or do you miss your family? And of course I do, but I never really experienced homesickness because everything here is just so new and so exciting that I don't really focus on the other part. But it's a really good experience. And leaving here will be a lot harder than leaving Germany because everyone here is just like kind of gonna continue their life, and everyone in Germany is kind of like waiting on me to get back because they miss me. But I already have plans for returning. I'm gonna come here in the fall this year with my best friend, and I want to go to college in the United States. So I have a lot of plans, and I'm really glad that doing an exchange here gave me the possibility to know so many amazing people and like to find a whole nother place that has my heart now.
All right, thanks for having us. Thanks for letting us have you today, Sarah.
You're welcome. It was really good talking to you.
You too. As for us, we're Oak Mountain Media, and if you would like to check out more of our content, you can follow us at Oak MTM Media on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, or you can check out our website at oakmtmmedia.com. Thanks for watching.